Welcome into the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight you join us for two matches of NACE Star League, Rocket League. We've got our first opening match where Ole Miss is going to go up against University of Central Florida. And then we'll go to our home team, Boise State, ready to take on Mizzou. My name's Jacob Palmer. I am joined by Colin Majunkin here to call all of the action for you tonight. Colin, Mizzou definitely being a tough school that Boise State is going to have to go up against. They're usually in the running in the playoffs as well. So when you're going up against a tough team like that, what are kind of the main things that you want to take away from this match, or prep yourself, I should say?
I guess prepping yourself is it's a little hard to necessarily prep yourself up against a team. I guess you could necessarily see what they're like going for. What are the rotations really looking like? It's one of those things of, I mean, personally to me, you can scout a team as much as you want, but it's not really until you get on the field playing Rocket League against them that you really start to get the feel of how they play, how they rotate. Can we get some free demos off of them? Can we still boost our rotation here? Can we get some bumps? So it's really all about that.
Well, we'll have to see if Boise State is able to pull off those fundamentals in the game. You can see the players back on stage behind me. We've got the regular lineup that we already have for Boise State University, the players that you have come to know in the varsity division. And they are just warming up for the match that will come after this first one here. Whoever is playing, though, they will have to be following Doc's keys to the game in a Rocket League. Definitely. I mean, Colin just gave his 2 cents, but let's also get the 2 cents from the man himself, Doc Haskell, and that's going to be to set your play style, understand your rotations, play to follow up, and employ those sweaty comms. It's all brought to you by Drop In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. And as we drop on down to the virtual field, we're going to be, to my understanding, playing a standard best-of-5 Rocket League match. So a little bit of time to get used to your team, but not quite the long marathon of a best-of-7 where attrition not quite the... It isn't quite the huge battle of attrition that a best-of-7 can be.
Yeah, and that's you kind of painted it that it really just ends up being a battle of attrition coming in and out of it. And I think a best-of-5 is a little bit more favorable for a team that starts off really strong. In a best-of-7, you really can sort of reel your back in. So you can reel you and your team back in really quickly, depending upon how long you can hold out. You can lose 3 games in a row and manage to turn it back on the 4th, where I think best-of-5 allows that team that picks momentum up really quickly and continues to just apply pressure and pressure and pressure and doesn't let a team breathe, can find themselves in a rather advantageous position.
All right, both teams are loaded in and ready to go. We'll start the first of this best-of-5, see who gets off on the right foot, as we've got Southern Miss going up against USF. So should be pretty interesting match as far as all things are concerned, especially since NACE has been allowing this Division I bracket to go forward this season. We've been seeing kind of top traditional universities compete against each other, kind of much more of a callback to an NCAA kind of thing, where you have these very established schools in traditional sports now branching out into esports.
Which is super big and super important for the space in and of itself. I mean, it's a really big thing to me when massive universities like this tend to get into the space, because it just starts to grow, and it's bigger than just Rocket League. It's bigger for the entire esports community of players who love watching it, love playing it, and seek to be part of it in their collegiate career.
And you also get, universities, especially the traditional universities. It's great knowing that these students and competitors are also going for their degrees in various things. It's not like an esports first kind of thing. These universities are still teaching them valuable skills that they'll apply later in their life, and then esports can be a way to supplement that.
Yeah, and it's one of those things of, I love sort of talking about or thinking about the statistics of, you talk about the amount of college players that play on the D1 level, and just football just in general is one of the easier statistics to pull out of. And there really are the 1%ers that get pulled into the draft. Out of thousands of kids who play the sport throughout their entire college career and graduate that year, only 225, 230 get selected that year, and the rest can go into free agency. But and then you start getting to other sports, that statistic gets a little more difficult. But I really feel like esports is also one of those. Is it can help kids go through and get through college in forms of scholarship and aid, and also mentally and physically. But I think that's the more important part of it. Of everyone wants to go pro, not everyone will, but you can walk away with a solid, degree and certain academic skills and life skills that can help you for the rest of it.
And it's one thing to kind of remember, we have an easy job and we get to critique every play from where we're sitting here. But even if you're hard on a player, or like, oh man, why did that player make that play, or you even start to get into the thought of, oh, this is such a bad player we're seeing here. You have to remember that all these players, even the ones that would be considered quote unquote worst, have more talent in their pinky finger than we and the viewers could really hope to possibly have. There was actually a series where the worst ranked player in the NBA went up against all his critics and people saying even I could beat him, and just swept the floor with every single one of you, because even if you're at the bottom, we're in such an elite level of competition here that they're still better than 99.9% of the population.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. You can take that anything. I mean, if you also want a pretty recent example as well, is just yesterday the quarterback for the 49ers, Purdy, was the 225th pick in the NFL draft when he went to the draft. And here he is leading a team to go to the Super Bowl and have the chance to potentially win it and be one of the best quarterbacks in the game. So, yeah, it really is one of those things of it's very easy to sit on this high horse we're on and cast judgment down. But it really is, at the end of the day, these are some really talented players playing in every game.
That was a great game, by the way, as far as Super Bowls go. That was very competitive down to the last minute. I was very well happy with the way things turned out, just in terms of a good show. And no fitting for Las Vegas. Also, this is just a joke I little like. That's why San Francisco, they shouldn't have gone for this. Should have just gone for the touchdown instead of settling for the field goal, because they put themselves at 22 points. And everyone knows in Vegas, 22 makes you bust. So there you go.
Yeah, there was a solid amount of those jokes going around on the broadcast as well. As what was it, 19 as well? I think both teams were at 19. There's a couple jokes cracked there. So you can never go wrong with a couple gambling jokes in Vegas.
Yep. It's just one of those things that just entertains. It's such a great venue for a lot of different events. But as we're talking about the digital venue that we have here before us, also just the great thing about esports is just kind of the international aspect of it. A lot of these players wanting to go to CRL Worlds, which is going to be, which is always kind of a highlight, and something Boise State, they're competing in the next match. They were able to make it to it last year, and will probably make it to it this year. So there's going to be a question of how they compete against these schools, because Boise State, last time they made it to Worlds, only went up against one university in the group stage. They went up against Amsterdam 2 times, and so you're kind of wondering, can maybe they make it this time and go up against kind of a wider range of teams?
Yeah, 100%. It's gonna be one of those things. If it's gonna be a journey and adventure for both these teams. Amsterdam and Boise State looking to go back at it, and I imagine these players are very, very hungry to go back to that stage and earn it all back.
Well, we'll take a short break and then be back with Game 1 of tonight. So don't go away.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
We're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
It's me, your Idaho Central Credit Union app. Rough morning. Is that a mobile deposit? I got this. Beat it, Charlie. We're making money moves here. Cha-ching. And done.
Charlie, come on, outside.
Sorry about the mess. I'd help if I had hands. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Once there was a traveler whose feet never left the ground. With only his mind as his map and his senses his compass, he raced into the great unknown. Armed only with the speed of legend. His trails he blazed, his rivals he played. Every sprint a blur. Every turn trusting his allies. In silence he raged and waged with quickening, sickening speed. His name a chant filling arenas. Because some heroes leave footprints, others an afterburn. Without conflict, there is no resolution. Without verses, there is no victory.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. We are just ready to jump into the first of our NACE Star League Rocket League matches that we have lined up for today, where we got Southern Miss going up against USF, and then after that we'll get to Boise State. You can see them warming up there on stage, facing off against Mizzou. I'm host Jacob Palmer, joined by Colin Majunkin, ready to call all of the action for you. We've done a lot of speculating, we've done a lot of advice, but now it is time to get down to brass tacks and see the actual gameplay, because we can throw around numbers and figures all we want, but the only one that matters is the one when the timer hits 0. So I'm told that we're ready to jump into this match. Southern Miss, Golden Eagles going up against USF. So pretty exciting, and we were just talking a little bit about all the fundamentals that we want to see as this match starts.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those things. I like how you painted it perfectly there. Just the only score that really matters at the end of the day, or the only number is, you know, who's leading at the end of the timer, as after almost a nasty double off the ceiling right there led to, I believe that was going to be USF tying that game back up. But we can already see a little bit halfway into this game, Southern Miss has a lead right now, but only by 1 goal. Currently going to be 1 touch missed out. Sap now get a soft touch in the midfield. Astroff trying to get a bit of a psycho, put it back to the corner. Zath is going to be able to 54 it.
Ooh, nice shot by Boehner near the front post. It's not going to be followed up. Zath with possession. Nice flick up and over toward the far corner. Zath with another touch of 50 in favor of Southern Miss, keeping the pressure up, but there isn't quite a follow-up, giving Sap some room to possibly clear, but Melodic Misery blocks it. And we're seeing a bit of contest in the midfield. And Yagami not quite able to get the touch he wanted on that ball, still very much in USF's territory.
That's a good control out of that corner piece there. Going to be picked up. They're going to be defended easily by Yagami. I'm going to send the ball back into the midfield. Soft touch going to pop it up. Sap going to boot onto the backboard. Yagami looking for an angle, almost looking for the backfield touch. Wasn't able to get it. Banger going to get one. Put it in the midfield. Another 50. Off the side wall, a huge pass upfield to Astroff. Astroff trying to get the redirect shot, not going to find it. Up for the defensive side on the green, and a good 50 in the corner. Going to be picked up by Zath once again, not going for the ceiling. Shot into a pass on the backboard, not going to find it. So a good disruption there by Banger. Going to leave Misery to air dribbles into the midfield, connect the teammate, kind of.
50 between both teams leaves the ball still in green field. Zath moving back as Melodic Misery comes in to contest in mid. Zath over to Astro. I thought that could be a redirect, but it's actually a clear over toward the corner. Zath gets demoed, meaning the Southern Miss doesn't quite have as much enough to work with here. The next few seconds, now they're back at full strength. Does USF come in for a shot on goal? No, there's absolutely nobody there whatsoever. Now Melodic Misery plays it under 1, now has the flip reset, continues to move forward, almost wiggles it in. Zath goes for the follow-up, 30 seconds left Astro wants to make sure he doesn't commit too far on this, leave an open goal to tie it up. Now things have settled down just a little bit, and Southern Miss looking like they could win this with their 1-goal lead.
Yeah, less than 20 seconds right now. Unless Banger's looking for an opportunity, going for the flip reset, misses it. Almost looking for a lucky shot, but there's a shot on target by Zap on the recovery. Far left, finding the angle. Now I'm going to put this game back to a 1-1 score.
I'm wondering where Melodic was, because he was going off for the boost toward the side, and he had enough time to rotate back, but just something went wrong that the camera didn't show us. So Southern Miss, USF now looking like they are going to go to an overtime for their first game. Boehner may be trying to score a buzzer beater. It's going to drop down right in front. A whiff on the shot, however, is going to probably take us to overtime unless a goal is scored right here. Melodic Misery gets a nice touch. Sap is going to push it off toward Yagami, and I don't think they can keep it in the air any longer. So now we go to OT. Golden goal.
OT in game 1 speaks a lot of volumes right there, especially that it's a 1-1 OT as well. Back to that golden goal rule. First team to score is going to take this match. Sap trying to get a soft touch on that sidewall, not going to be able to do it. A 50. Going to give Aviroff a bit of control. Going to send back to the midfield. Zap's going to pick it up, though. Only good for 1 touch. Sap's going to bang it back to the midfield here. Fingers up. Does get the beat, but so far not a lot of solid touches. Aviroff looking to get the first shot attempt. Not going to be able to get it. Zap's going to slow it down in the midfield here. Misery going to take control, air dribble into the corner here. Only get a 50 off. Aviroff now with control. Sap on the backfield, going to elevate to challenge. Is going to get through with it. That's trying to re-challenge. A shot opportunity for Misery. Not going to be able to get it. Aviroff cuts it off in the midfield. But Sap now has control. Goes up. Gets a flip reset. Gets denied, though.
Melodic Misery doesn't have really any contested mid. Yagami, he actually does manage to get a touch on there. Turns into a shot on goal. Astro's the one to save. Boehner keeping the pressure on. Demo onto one of USF. It's going to give Southern Miss a little bit of time to push this back toward mid. Melodic Misery going up against Boehner, able to play it under him around the corner. Zaf trying to get control of the ball for himself, looking he might pass toward Astro, but the boost starving coming through from Southern Miss, meaning Astro can't, is just going to wait so he can get into a better position to save. Zaf once again clears it over to Astro, and an over-rotation will decide it all.
Just off this touch here, shot on the side. Zaf gets a really good read off of that, connects with the teammate downfield. You hate to lose that way, but Southern Miss led it in the beginning. They're going to finish out on top as well after taking this game to OT. Solid performance.
Overall, I think Southern Miss, it felt like they should have won that without overtime, to be honest. It just seemed like that first goal that was scored by USF at the very end, it just seemed something was off there because the positioning wasn't awful. And I think Melodic Misery could have gotten to it.
Yeah, you never really truly know what happens there. We didn't get to see it. We don't get to hear the comms. Maybe it was a misstep, miscommunication. Maybe they were making a turn and they hit that little side bump up next to the goal, sent them sideways. You never truly know. Nevertheless, they get to shake it off because they walked away at the W anyway. So they get to head in game 2 with an edge over their opponent. But it's a little unfortunate we didn't get to see the first goal because I think that would have given us a little bit better insight into just what exactly happened there, because we got to see it was an over-rotation by UCF. Was it the same story last time around? Did they get beat? Did they have 3 people in goal that got absolutely dusted? What exactly happened there? But that doesn't really matter now. It's heading into game 2. We'll get to see the full 5 minutes and truly get to see Southern Florida. Southern Miss gets to take out game 2.
Off to Forbidden Temple we go. Certainly a lot of people's favorites in terms of lighting and general prettiness of the arena. And we actually saw a lot of this if you were watching us over the weekend. We actually, during the Boise State Winter Games, saw some teams just play, even though they were supposed to rotate to the next stadium, just stayed on Forbidden Temple, and I had no complaints about that.
Yeah, absolutely none.
Oh, look at this cheat here by Astro. Isn't able to get the shot on goal. Yagami will push him off to the side, but already some interesting plays coming out from Southern Miss. Can Melodic Misery set up another one with the dribble? Takes it on in casually.
Really like the control here. This pop without, knowing the directionality out there. And we do see it right there. There's a talented attempt by Banger and Sap, but they collide with each other, and I think that throws them off just enough. So really unfortunate, but also really pretty goal there scored out by I think that was Misery.
Sap unable to get a shot on goal off the cheat. Melodic Misery goes in. His dribble's going to get disrupted by Yagami. We saw a double commit there by Southern Miss near their goal. But they are spread out a little bit more to recovering from that. Zaf now with his dribble moves in, doesn't go for the flip reset, but carries it cross mid. Now we're going to see that midfield contest. Can Melodic Misery block it?
Ooh.
Barely. That was so close for the Golden Eagles.
Azeroth coming in clutch there, and once again getting a crucial touch off the sidewall there into a carry. 50 again, but Sap's going to win it. Azeroth once again have to come in clutch on the defensive side again to control this ball. Decides to go low, gets the flip reset, can connect with the Melodic. Now Melodic gets a pinch off the ceiling. It's going to go straight down. Not going to get much with it, but now Zath trying to connect with Azeroth in the midfield. Azeroth going to maintain control, gets bumped off the ball, and that's going to give massive possession to Yagami. Fakes out one, 50s another. But Sap's going to come in at the last second, save a teammate, losing another 50 there. Now Sap puts a shot on net, and there's a miss by the defender, and Southern misses goal. Zap not able to get it.
Well, now we've had one goal apiece where it's kind of attributed to just kind of pure defensive error for the other team. Southern Miss scored one that way, and now USF has scored one that way.
That continuing to be super close games right there. Staying at 1-1. 3 minutes, 38 seconds left. Banger able to get a flip reset. Not going to be able to do too much with it. He's going to get possession
already some
Azeroth.
interesting.
The missed bump, too, could be dangerous. The touch off the ceiling from the backboard. Good defensive placement by Yagami. Once again, 2 for 2. Can it make it 3? Wow. Absolutely clutch on the backboard right there.
Demo onto Sap. It's going to free up a little bit of room for Southern Miss. Might have been a bit of a mix-up between Melodic there and Zaf on who wanted to go for it, but now Zaf has moved to a different position. Astro in the goal will be able to stop it before Saf is able to touch it. Melodic Misery with a pass over to mid, and Zaf will come up mid. Get one touch on it. Boehner now trying to contest in a mid. Sap also gets another touch. Demo onto Yagami. Plays past Melodic Misery. This is a huge play by Sap. He isn't able to get the final touch.
Wow, a lot of critical saves this game.
By just a few pixels, he wasn't able to squeeze it in there. Oh, follow-up saved by Sap again, and both teams very thirsty to get into a lead. Yagami's going to put another shot off the crossbar. These last few shots have been so close, all of them.
Yeah, defensively so far, all these touches made in the past minute and a half, I would say, have all just been beautifully executed on the defensive side of things. Now, Banger trying to go for an air dribble play. Not going to be able to get it. Yagami gets the 100 on the backboard. Shot credit there was a little off to my eyes, but again, going to give it to him. Yagami goes to a flip reset, gets under one. No! Misery is able to get a touch, get it underneath Yagami. Now it's Azeroth going to set it off the backboard. Sap on the defensive side. This time, not going to be the hero, and that's now Zaf. Going to be able to put a shot on that and put it in the back.
Yeah, it's a beautiful team coordination between him and Zaf. Yagami was the only one who could have possibly rotated over to back post, but he was too far back on the field for it to come to fruition. So now with a little under 2 minutes remaining, Southern Miss in a 1-goal lead. Similar situation to Game 1.
Good touch there by Yagami. He's going to send it back. Zaf controls it from the midfield. 50 going to collide off the sidewall. Zap puts a bang in the midfield here. Misery gets one. Sap now down to Banger with an open net. Never mind. Sap on the backboard. Camouflage to the back of the net. Going to come in with another critical save.
It's not often that I see a goal scored that way by spiking it directly down into the goal. Zaf is going to have his air dribble stopped by Sap. Ball heading over to Boehner across mid. Astro waiting on the goal. Gets one touch, plays it off the wall. Yagami still going to try to put pressure. Melodic Misery plays over him. Dribbles it past mid. Sap waiting in the corner to stop it. More contest by Zaf. No quite follow-up. He might try to drive it in himself. Isn't able to. Yagami reads the play. Can Astro get another follow-up? No, it's taken away by Banger.
Both these players are playing so well on the defensive half their side. Their 50s, their coordination, their controlling, their timing is working out really well in their favor. Zap will get it past one. Is there a second? There's an assist by a teammate there. Now to get too much Starburst, Sap is going to waste a whole lot of boost. Banger's going to take control. Now Misery. Back to the sidewall. Sap is demoed on the attempt to follow up on that play to get a second here in an open net, but Yagami's able to get one. Now looking for a second, misses on the second, leaves it for Sap. Sap's going to bang it off the backboard, leave for Misery. Misery gets a redirect to the sidewall. Sap's going to control it. Soft touch and it back. to Southern Miss's side. Now it's Azeroth controlling on green offense. Ooh, Banger's going to be credited with the save. Yagami now attempting to send it out. Sath able to get a small touch. Back in the midfield here, Yagami gets a 50. Banger off the backboard. Ooh, there's Sath. The recorrect, send it back to their side.
And one final shot to just guarantee things. Sath, the very end there, drives it, and there was a demo up here on midfield. Nice read, taking Yagami out of the equation. The only one could have stopped that, and that will do it for game 2. Just have 4 more seconds to play out here. More of a formality, if anything, because now there is no possible chance that this game can be won, but they might try to score one feel-good goal at the end if USF can get possession of the ball. And a spike down into the ground will end the game. Southern Miss now up to match point. And throughout, I'm not going to count that goal at the very end. That was kind of the... Because there was only 4 seconds left on the clock. So I'm going to say for the vast majority of this match, the shots on goal were pretty even. It was 8 in favor, not counting that last one, 8 in favor of Southern Miss, and then 5 in favor of USF, and they were both equally competent on defense.
Yeah, I think it really came down to they're really strong on the defensive side of things, both of them. But ultimately, it came down to those few shots that you do let in, and it really became a thing as Southern Miss was able to be defensively inclined and offensively inclined. They defended their goal really well. They backboarded, they rotated really well, and they did a really good job with only one person on the back of the net doing their job and holding down the fort while also becoming a team unit and finding creative ways to put the ball in the back of the net. And that's when you face a team that's really good, that's going to take. You're going to have moments where you're just going back and forth between possession, and it's going to be those opportunities when you find that one, that chance, that opening, you've got to fire that shot, and you've got to make sure you hit your mark. And Southern Miss did that 2 more times than what UCF was able to do.
And another thing that's standing out to me about the Golden Eagles is they're not the most demo-happy team, but the times I am seeing them demo, they have been on point with taking out the last defender. We're even recognizing someone rotating over to be the defender, clear back past midfield in their own territory. I mean, they're looking at the plays that USF is trying to set up, reading them, and then just surgically taking out the key players.
There's an opportunity for Sath to open up the midfield. Not going to be able to do it. The pass is denied. Banger trying to come in for a bump/demo. I think it's completely misses. Now Sath in a 1-on-1 situation. Going to put a beautiful flick on net behind the defender. If there's a place to put a shot that somebody's shadowing, it's that. Beautifully executed. Southern Miss goes up 1 super early into this game.
Probably the soonest that we have seen a goal this game, so Southern Miss definitely going to try to get some sort of snowball going. Misery now dribbling. Yagami not able to stop the momentum. Maybe Boehner, he'll push it back toward midfield past Yagami. Zaft stops it. We've got some good midfield contests that both teams have been on point for this game. Zap now moving in. Astro gets the better of that 50, and it's going to gain a lot of territory. And a shot on goal for Astro to put the Golden Eagles up to 2.
Beautiful back pass there and really good control. Amazing job sticking with that ball and keeping with momentum there. Azeroth putting on a show here. So far it's been Zath and Azeroth that have put a team a bit on their back so early into the game. Momentum's really starting to swing in the favor of Southern Miss right now as they seem unstoppable these past 40 seconds.
Zap unable to find his clear. Yagami, few touches on it, pushes it to mid. Melodic Misery unable to stop. Zap gets, that's a very energetic angle. They are able to recover from it. Zap moving out around the corner. Zap will take the 100 for himself, not allowing any boost start, but that's a great play by Melodic Misery, almost trickling into the goal. Zap now looking for the clear. Astro trying to 50 against Yagami, unable to play it around him. Yagami, clear shot back toward mid. Boehner will try to keep the play going. He does. And Astro now trying to get this back in mid, but Zap securing the side control for USF. Maybe a follow-up shot on goal by Yagami. Melodic Misery struggling to save, but they'll walk away from it.
That was really good positioning on the net right there to be able to put a shot there. We don't get to see it, but there's Zath. Yeah, you kind of saw from the prediction of that bounce right there, Zath was going to be able to get this, but we do get to see the replay here. Yep, a bounce off the corner. I believe that's a UCF player right there that missed that shot. I believe it. I'm not quite sure who it was. Maybe we'll get to identify it later. But yeah, missing that touch off the corner piece is going to leave Southern Miss a wide open net and the opportunity to lead 3-0 super early in this game. And now absolutely destroying folks on the sidewall and backboard. Another shot opportunity is going to be missed. Now Banger going for the flip reset. It's going to fizzle out. It can be saved pretty easily. Sap is now elevated, gets a touchdown field. Banger might be able to capitalize. There's a shot opportunity, but it's in front of the defender and a bit too slow. It's going to be saved out.
Melodic Misery, flip reset, continuing to dribble, and Zaf tries to push him into the goal. Doesn't quite work. The shot's just a little off to the side. You got all three of USF in one corner here. They're all tending to bunch up. Will Southern Miss be able to punish them for that? They're struggling to find their positions, trying to regain some presence on the field. Astro off the wall, Melodic Misery to be a little bit of a pain in the goal for the defenders. And Melodic Misery pushed up too far, can't get the follow-up. Already they're bleeding another minute off the time. Yagami to get the goal, doesn't find it. Zap with a great save.
2 minutes 20 left here. Yagami trying to take control of this ball here. Going to be able to get a little bit of distance on it, but Zath is in the backfield to capitalize on it. Now Azeroth off the backboard, going to be able to control it in the air. Banger's there to get a disrupt, send it to the backboard. Zaz to control it. Banger to get one more disrupt. Misery to get a redirect into midfield, send it back to the orange half. Zap, get a pinch with the backboard, or sidewall more like it. Gets 50'd out though. Banger going to send it back to the other side. There's Zaz with a really big clear here. Now they want to go in situation off the backboard and off the top of the car of the last USF defender. There's a hat trick for Zath right there.
Now, without any context whatsoever, if you were to see a scoreline 1 minute 51 seconds left with a 4-0 lead, you think that it's probably doable for the other team. There is barely enough time for them to work with, but when you compare it about how the pace of game has gone this match, this is a lead as wide as the Grand Canyon, and Astro might even make it wider with a shot off to the right. Going to be blocked, and Zap trying to find his clear, blocked by Melodic. Side control is firmly in favor of Southern Miss. Shot on goal, not going to find it.
Banger finally able to get a clear here, send it back to Southern Miss side. Get a shot off the backboard there, another missed opportunity. Gami's able to get a demo onto Zath, gives Zap some free room to work with here, and win to 50. Now off the backboard, Zath, a little awkward, is going to have to make a bounce touch. Misery to get a redirect, send it back to midfield. Azeroth to get one. Zath gets beat out though, opting not to go for that shot. Now Banger in the redirect off the sidewall, now trying to send it back around to Yagami, and that's the first goal for USF, using that momentum. And a couple beats to their advantage.
Taking advantage of some bad positioning by Southern Miss, no one to contest. And now 1 minute 7 seconds left. A little over 20 seconds for each goal. Banger almost getting the shot right off the kickoff. I would have said that would have reset the game entirely. But 1 minute left. Now it's in possession of Southern Miss, who has the opportunity to just bleed time away. Banger takes it up mid. Astro will stop him. Zap deflects it off to the corner. Now looking to see if he can clear. Zaf on the ground, not going to be, he just gets up there. I'm always so surprised by these players' ability to elevate, but Banger scores another one, and USF slowly making this more and more interesting.
Unfortunate touch, yeah, off that sidewall. Doesn't get the read Zath was looking for there. Misses it, goes underneath, and that ball just going to sneak right behind the defense of Southern Miss. And with 38 seconds left, it's definitely doable with 2 goals. How the way the game's been going, I would say no, but you never quite know. They could surprise you, like right there. A really bad touch by Southern Miss, just an absolute hard bounce. Or yeah, they're trying to get a read there. Doesn't get the touch they're looking for, and Yagami's able to capitalize on it. Yep.
Oh, that is rough. And now Southern Miss in a very dangerous position. This kickoff is quite crucial. That's a good result for them. They'll at least get some control, territory gain. Zap will clear it back over into the corner. Where's the defender? Yagami, are you kidding me?
No.
He gets his hat trick, and in less than 2 minutes, USF has rallied to tie it back at 4 apiece.
Wow, that is absolutely insane. I would honestly say 3 back-to-back bad positioning, bad touches by Southern Miss has led to USF being completely out of the game, back to being in the game, and the potential of taking the lead and the first game of the series here. But with 10 seconds left, Southern Miss is pushing the ball over to green half, and there's an absolute bang of a shot to Southern Miss half. Zath is going to be able to get one, but there's a pass opportunity by Yagami. Now a shot. Southern Miss is going to be able to defend that. Now the last second on the clock is gone. Azarov gets one, bounces off the backboard or the sidewall. Yagami's going to ground it and go into OT. The second one of the series, game 3.
Boehner looks over the field. Astro grounds it. Just in midair, Zath back flipping. Trying to get back, push up a little bit too far, but has recovered and now gets it back into mid solidly. Zath and Misery pretty close to each other. Misery's going to be the one to take it in the dribble. Sap will block it. Astro, Zath, this could be it, right toward the goal.
Cool.
Double commit on the save, and it's enough to keep USF in the game. Astro rotating back. They did not push too far up, so they'll be able to try to save this. Melodic Misery back over to the side. Boehner trying to take it away. Melodic Misery clear over to the other side of the field. Sap is there, however, will get a shot on the goal. And Astro, huge clear back to mid. But Yagami going to try another follow-up. Zap back over to the corner. Southern Miss not being given much breathing room.
Misery going to be able to get one. Gets a touch off the ceiling, though. Now it's Banger with control. Gets a flick up and over one. Not past Misery, though. Now Zath control. Able to get one soft touch. Now Yagami passes it back down to Sap. And still with control here. Able to get a 50 with Misery. Sap waiting on the backboard here. Going to take a low shot. Saved out. Bit of a double commit, though. Azarov going to get 100. Not able to get the ball past Banger, though. Going to play Disrupt. Misery going to win a massive 50 and get it past Yagami there. But Banger's on the turn back around, and a pinch with the backboard is going to send the ball up and over. A green goal for the USF. Now Yagami on the offensive, gets a pinch with the backboard. Going to try and connect the teammate here. Here's Misery, going to get one tap up. Now Zath is up, gets control, only one touch. Not a whole lot of boost on the Southern Miss side to execute on this. This could be an opportunity for USF to take a lot of control here, but they have yet to be able to do so.
Melodic Misery shot onto goal, doesn't find it. First major shot on goal of overtime as we for Southern Miss as we pass now 2 minutes. Yagami not going to have a shot on goal there as Melodic Misery clears it back over to Ward mid. Yagami tries again. It's Melodic in the corner. They've stolen the boost away from Southern Miss. Melodic trying to push it past mid. Astro wins that 50. It's going to be able to keep it alive for Southern Miss. Another 51 by Zath to gain some better positioning. Oh, a little bit of awkward positioning by Southern Miss, but they weren't punished for it too much. Zap will demo Sap, and this is a little dangerous, but Boehner will defuse it. No, it's another shot back toward mid off the crossbar, and Melodic Misery manages to find it. 2 minutes, 42 seconds into overtime.
That's going to be the really hard part about having a comeback like that is when you come back off of a circumstance like that where the team that you're scoring all these goals against makes these consecutive mistakes. When you take them into OT, there's this sudden just like shock through the system of, all right, we got to lock in again. And that's exactly what ended up happening of Southern Miss locked in. They got the demos they needed. They finally took the control they're looking for. And even though they had no boost for a solid like 20 seconds of that offensive they had, USF was not able to clear that ball out of their half. So when you lose all the momentum you just gained because you could not gain control of the ball or find a solid shot on net, it's just going to kill you.
Well, that's going to do it for our first match, but we've got Boise State ready to go up against Mizzou in a few minutes, so don't go away. We'll be back with more Rocket League after this.
It's me, your Idaho Central Credit Union app. Rough morning. Is that a mobile deposit? I got this. Beat it, Charlie. We're making money moves here. Cha-ching. And done.
Charlie, come on, outside.
Sorry about the mess. I'd help if I had hands. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Once there was a traveler whose feet never left the ground. With only his mind as his map and his senses his compass, he raced into the great unknown. armed only with the speed of legend. His trails he blazed, his rivals he played. Every sprint a blur, every turn trusting his allies. In silence he raged and waged with quickening, sickening speed. His name a chant filling arenas. Because some heroes leave footprints, others an afterburn. Without conflict, there is no resolution. Without verses, there is no victory.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
We're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Did they have 3 people in goal that got absolutely dusted? What exactly happened there?
Around the corner, Zaf trying to get control of the ball for himself, looking he might pass toward Astro, but the boost starving coming through from Southern Miss, meaning Astro can't, is just going to wait so he can get into a better position to save. Zaf once again clears it over to Astro, and an over-rotation will decide it all. But already some interesting plays coming out from Southern Miss. Can Melodic Misery set up another one with the dribble? Takes it on in casually.
Really like the control here. This pop without, knowing the directionality out there. And we do see right there, there's a talented attempt by Banger and Sap, but they collide with each other. And I think the last second
is able to touch it. Melodic Misery with a pass over to mid, and Zap will come up mid. Get one touch on it. Banger now trying to contest in a mid. Sap also gets another touch. Demo onto Yagami. Plays past Melodic Misery. This is a huge play by Sap. He isn't able to get the final touch.
Able to get a touch, get it underneath Yagami. Now it's Azeroth going to set it off the backboard. Sap on the defensive side. This time, not going to be the hero, and that's now Zap. Going to be able to put a shot on that and put it in the back.
Yeah, it's a beautiful team coordination between him and Zaf. Yagami was the only one who could have possibly rotated over to back.
Banger off this backboard. Ooh, there's Zaf. The recorrect, send it back to their side.
And one final shot to just guarantee things. Zaf, at the very end there, drives it, and there was a demo up here on midfield. Nice read, taking Yagami out of the equation. The only one who could have stopped that.
To be able to do it, the pass is denied. Banger trying to come in for a bump slash demo. I think it's completely misses. Now Zath in a 1-on-1 situation, going to put a beautiful flick on net behind the defender. If there's a place to put a shot that somebody's shadowing, it's that. Beautifully executed. Southern Miss goes up 1 super early into this game.
For this game. Zap now moving in. Astro gets the better of that 50, and it's going to gain a lot of territory. And a shot on goal for Astro to put the Golden Eagles up to 2.
Beautiful back pass there and really good control. Amazing job sticking with that ball and keeping with momentum there. Azeroth putting on a shot. It's 50'd out though. Banger going to send it back to the other side. There's Zap with a really big clear here now to 1-1 situation. Off the
there you go.
And off the top of the car of the last USF defender. There's a hat trick for Zath right there.
Now, without any context whatsoever, if you were to see a scoreline 1 minute 51 seconds left with a 4-0 lead.
Zath gets beat out though, opting not to go for that shot. Now Banger going to redirect off the sidewall. Now trying to send it back around to Yagami. And that's the first goal for USF. Using that momentum. And a couple beats to their advantage.
Taking advantage of some bad positioning by Southern Miss. Zap will clear it back over
Uh-oh.
into the corner. Where's the
No
defender?
way.
Yagami, are you kidding me?
No
He gets his hat trick, and in less than 2 minutes, USF has rallied to tie it back at 4 apiece.
Wow.
Is it? No, it's another shot back toward mid off the crossbar, and a lot of misery manages to find it. 2 minutes, 42 seconds into overtime.
That's going to be the really hard part about having a comeback like that is when you come back off of a circumstance like that where the team that you're scoring all these goals against makes these consecutive mistakes.
Yo, I'm a lazy motherfucker, that's what everyone sees. Ain't it funny how you wanna be the best, but you can't even get up and get dressed? Wasted, face it, you're never gonna make it. Rockstar, you won't get far. I know you're confused. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be. Wanna go to outer space, superhero in the streets. Damn, what a lie. What a time to be alive. How have I survived? Life's a battlefield. 1974. I think I'm going insane. I'm feeling crazy. Can't get it out of my head. Oh no, if the devil inside takes hold, then I just might wind up dead. Wasted, face it. You're never gonna be the one. Rockstar, you won't get far, but at least you had fun. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be, a king or a queen, as long as you got a dream. Oh no, it's a lie. They just wanna take your life, try to tell you it's a battlefield. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be. Wanna go to outer space, superhero in the streets. Damn, what a lie. What a time to be alive. How have I survived? Life's a battlefield. 1974. Yeah, some people like me are just destined to fuck up everything that we mess with. If I was made as a joke, I don't get it. Missed the call, but I guess I got the message. Usually I fall too hard, I'm addicted to pain. And if the world's on fire, I'll be swimming in flames, yeah. Cause I'm too impatient to wait for change. I know I'm far from perfect. Oh, yeah. But I know I can make it work. I know I can make it work. I'm crazy, everybody knows my name, but I don't even know my name. Going insane, putting heavy on my brain, but I don't even know my name. It's a story about an ID crisis. Used to think my only future was the night shift. Brain on ADHD, autopilot. And through it all somehow I kept smiling. I can never find the right words to say. Only a handful of family ever sees my face. But I'm only human, don't we all make mistakes? I'm drowning in my head again, and my thoughts don't want me to win. They show compassion made of plastic, and I don't wanna be another tragedy, but I'd rather be dead than a skeleton dreaming about the things that he couldn't be. Cause I'm too impatient to wait for dreams. I'm just being honest, I got you here. You just ride the wave till you disappear. Unrequited love, I can't take it. Kill me more than once, leave a trail of tears. My closet scare me away. Everybody goes through it, we don't ever come out the same. Cause you never change. You my little psycho, kiss me in the night glow. Easy to imagine when you always have your eyes closed. We'll be going crazy if you know what I know. Where did all the happy memories go? On a tightrope, and I wish I could touch the ground. My future's covered in smoke, but my head is up in the clouds. And maybe this will all fade after one bad day, and I'll be okay. But my life is in the worst place, and I can't wait for heartbreak from my mistakes. Just too tired to fight, but there's an end in sight. Wave the white flag, I'm yours tonight. Cause my heart can't take these heights. I need your love with me for life. Can't keep my head on my shoulders. Feels like I'm losing myself. I still see your shadow on the wall. Like I'm living in hell. Touchdown in a new place, try to escape your poison, and I hate that I miss a mistake. I'm tired of your ghost, but I don't wanna run away. I can't believe I fell for all of it and it was a show. I know it's toxic, but it just don't feel right letting you go. But you play a game, I can't escape. I'm caught up in the middle. You're running through my head, and all the things we said. I wish I could forget you. Unless you
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. We are into the second Rocket League match of the night. Boise State ready to go up against Mizzou in the NACE Star League Division 1 Conference. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer. I am joined by Colin Majunkin right beside me to call all of the action for you. Colin, you were doing a little bit of research in between in the break between games about who Mizzou's faced, who Boise State has already faced, and what are the general stakes of this game?
Well, currently BSU is 1-0, so they're undefeated, and they're looking to secure the sort of lead in the Division 1 titles going forward in the NACE League right now. However, the big thing is going against a team like Mizzou is it kind of sets a bit of a precedence going forward as well in terms of Mizzou has lost against Kansas, who we're going to play next week as well. So playing against a team like this lets us scout out a little bit of the abilities of, if this team lost against Kansas, and we absolutely destroy, or it's a little bit harder of a match, then we can sort of do some predicting on terms of what next week is. But currently right now, it's really important this team stays in the present because, like it was sort of highlighted a second ago, it's to claim the Division 1 lead here. So we really want to hold on to that and keep pushing forward and really become undisputed in that sense.
And Mizzou, of course, very tough opponent. And when you're facing off against challenging opponents, you're going to want to follow the keys to the game that we give out, courtesy of Doc Haskell, head coach of Boise State Esports. That's going to be to set your play style, understand your rotations, play to follow up, and employ those sweaty comms. It's all brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. Boise State on deck against Mizzou to face off in the Division 1 NACE Star League Conference. Of course, we've got all the players that we have come to know. We got Durtho up there, Preston, and Woozy as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an absolutely deadly combo there. I mean, you really can't state how strong that combo is up there, that three-piece, because they came in last semester, absolutely blew everybody out of the water, CRL, #1 in the West. I mean, that's just kind of what this team is, in essence, is they're the #1 in the West. They're some of the best that Collegiate Rocket League has to offer, and that's exactly the team you're going to face every time, and that's the standard I think these fine players hold themselves to.
All right, Boise State heading up against Mizzou, who will take home the first win in this best of 5. Will Boise State sweep this with a complete 3-0? We're ready to head on down to the field and see how this shakes out. Second game of the Division 1 season for spring 2024. And do you think we're going to see any quick kickoffs? Do you think there will be a goal in the first 30 seconds of the match? I always like to do that prediction.
Yeah, I think in the first 30 seconds, it's entirely possible here going forward.
Yes or no? I'm going to hold you to a prediction.
And I'm going to elaborate on my yes.
Okay.
But not elaborate.
All right. Well, we'll see if it plays out right now, as we actually got Gil in for Boise State right now, kind of the other main player. It's been with Durtho and Woozy. Right now, Woozy trying to put a bit of pressure onto Mizzou. Boise State already with the side control. Gil unable to set it up for anybody. Durtho back in midfield. Exodia moving on in, will get demoed. Woozy now passing back toward midfield. Frostbite blocks it dead center. Puts a shot on goal. Gil to save. Exodia for a follow-up. Now Durtho with the dribble back on over. Frostbite still contesting in midfield. Durtho, a pass off to the side. And a demo onto Woozy as well. Mizzou definitely giving the Broncos a run for their money. Woozy has to rotate in, and the shot won't come through quite yet.
Frostbite slows it down a little bit, trying to get around Woozy. Was able to do it, but not around Gil. Durtho's going to interrupt the pass, send it back to the side. Well, here Woozy's going to send it right back to the corner here. Going to stay on this ball. Circle a little bit around it. Fake the commit, actually. Get a good 50 with Exodia. Crown's going to send it back up to the backboard. Durtho's going to maintain control. Send it all the way back around. Get a flick over one here. Going to grab 100. Looking to get past the second. Does that. Past all three and leaves Woozy to an open net. Wow.
Very nice job by Boise State. Once Durtho sets it up, he immediately tries to swap over to disrupting. Frostbite was also just a bit too far back on that rotation. Now Boise State gets the first goal of the game. 3 minutes, 47 seconds left in game one.
White Lady one by one took them all on. There's Gil. One for an air dribble play. Able to get it past one as well. Now going for a doomsday dish. Oh my! In the past 20 seconds, Boise State has lit up this scoreboard here. Impressive control by Gill right there.
We were seeing a lot of demos come out from Mizzou in kind of the first few minutes of this game, but all of a sudden the flip has been switched, and the Broncos up to 2-0. 3 minutes 40 seconds left.
About the kickoffs again. Exodia looking to control here. Gets a flick over Woozy. Not exactly a hard challenge there. Crims. Now going to control the ball on the sidewall. Looking to get a solo play going here. Going to overplay the ball. Woozy to get the challenge. Exodia gets one. Gill waiting on the backboard there. Going to get a 50. Frostbite's going to get a demo on Woozy. Gill going to air dribble into the midfield here. Pass it over to Durtho. Durtho going for a flip reset. Going to be saved out by Crims though. Woozy gets one touch. Leaves it up to Exodia.
Now Frostbite moving up the field with, I think that's actually Crimes there for a Mizzou. Frostbite moving on in, trying to set up a shot. Woozy just body blocks him around the corner. Now going to pass the ball back toward mid. Crimes gets a few touches on it, but doesn't find anything from it. Boise State regains side control off the backboard, but they're a bit too far back on the field to follow up on that. But now that I'm sure that they're ready to contest and have the boost that they need, a play's going to come through here from Gill, and a quick one put on goal. Boise State up 3-0.
Wow. Absolutely heads-up play right there. Durtho able to get a really good 50 there. Woozy, instead of trying to go around Exodia, is going to find the teammate in the midfield there, Gill, and it's going to put an absolute dime of a shot on the back of the net. And now it's 3-0 in game one with just sub 3 minutes left here on the kickoff.
Durtho moves off to the side to contest with Frostbite. Now they have an open goal. Durtho sees it, puts it in, and we're up to 4-0.
Just absolute mechanical brilliance right now that BSU is showing over Mizzou right now. It's really insane here, and that's all I can really describe it as. It's just mechanically, game sense wise, just overall, this team is firing on all cylinders right now.
Frostbite, this good positioning by Crimes to push it toward the goal. Woozy and Gill see it. They both double commit on it. Durtho going to try to push it back toward mid. Not often that we see a double commit for the Broncos, but can they recover? Bad positioning there. Pays against them. Mizzou, first goal.
Unfortunate read, an unfortunate bounce there. Yeah, you really don't expect that off the corner wall there, but that's going to be absolute capitalization there by Mizzou, and they're going to put their first point on the board right now. 2 minutes, 22 seconds left, 1-4. Broncos still in the lead here off this kickoff. Crim's going to win that, but there's a great bump there on Exodia. Frostbite and Durtho will meet at the same time with the ball there. Frostbite attempting to get a read there. A flick up from Gill, trying to connect with Woozy, not going to find them. Crims gets challenged off the ceiling, going to send out the backboard. Woozy's waiting, going to get a soft touch into midfield for Durtho. Not going to find it, and a disrupt by Woozy to send it to the midfield to Gill. And there's Durtho on the sidewall trying to find a pass, but not going to find a teammate there before being disrupted.
Ball up for grabs in mid. Crimes gets to it before Woozy. Durtho goes flying past it. Has to be left up to either Gill or Woozy. Crimes puts one into the back corner. Woozy fills up on boost. The follow-up coming through from Exodia. Can they center it to get it in? Gill is going to disrupt it somewhat. And Gill and Woozy now both go for the ball. Crimes to stop that in midfield. Another double commit by the Broncos being brought out all of a sudden.
Both those players sit in the exact same spot at the exact same time. It's going to get a little confusing there. Woozy now off the sidewall, trying to go for a second touch. Not going to be able to get it. Frostbite into the midfield here after defending the goal. And now Durtho looking for a bit of a solo, just trying to maintain possession. Gill gets absolutely demoed, but Durtho and Woozy are still looking to connect on a pass. They're not going to find it, however, but Gill has a kind of open net. Going to get stuffed out, though, and now an absolute demo frenzy coming out from Mizzou as this 1 minute mark hits the screen.
Still a pretty comfortable lead for Boise State. It might be a little less comfortable. A shot goes right off of the left post. Boise State will still walk away from that with a 3-goal lead. Now Woozy going to make a bit of space for the Broncos. Runs right into Exodia, but the dribble does go through largely, allowing Boise State to get some side control and just bleed time off. Durtho setting it up for someone, possibly it's going to be Gill. Puts a shot on goal, and it connects. Gill gets his hat trick.
Beautiful placement right there. A really impressive series right there for the Broncos. I mean, a bit of a shout out to Mizzou for keeping it out of the back of the net for quite a bit of time there, longer than I think since the start of the game. 30 seconds left, though, off the start of this kickoff. Exodia might be able to get a read there. Ooh. Unfortunate. I believe on the cheat, missed the bump touch there. Yeah, off the cheat, didn't find it. Frostbite was able to survive that that bump tactic off the kickoff. They would have put one in the back of the net. But still, Boise State leading by 3 here.
Gill following up off the kickoff. Exodia making a bit of space back for himself. Puts a quick one onto the goal, putting Mizzou within striking distance of the Broncos.
Really good control there. Attempts to get disrupted and a really solid flick, and to find Woozy just a tad off center. Able to find the back of the net. 2 goals here. Still a solid lead for Boise State here, especially 20 seconds considering. Frostbite going to maintain control though. Off the sidewall, not going for a solo. Gill to disrupt. Pinch it right back into the ground. Crims looking for a read. There's Woozy off the backboard. Going to bang in the midfield. Trying to get Dirt though. Dirt though, I don't think quite gets the touch, but the missed touch by Frostbite isn't going to be enough. Doesn't save the ball. And the Broncos are going to find the back of the net here for a 6th time.
At this point, it's just brownie points for the Broncos. With this little time left, they have secured the first game most definitely. We'll be moving on to game 2 with a chance to end this with a sweep. They will be at match point if they win the next game. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. The ball needs to hit the ground for game 1, and that is officially in the books. Boise State winning 6 to Mizzou 3.
Still, even towards the very end, I mean, it was 5-0 for the majority of that game. It really was Mizzou was not really contesting with a whole lot of what the Broncos were able to put up, especially in that beginning half. I mean, they were just absolutely dominating.
This is the most laid back I've seen Durtho. Normally he's really focused in, leaning forward, but I mean, he was back, had a smile on his face, had a good reason to have a smile on his face with a scoreline like that for game 1.
Yeah, with your team performing like that, there's no reason not to take a second to break yourself, control it, But like it's like we said.
There we go. That's what I'm used to seeing. That's where I'm used to seeing him. I'm glad production you backed me up there, so I didn't look like I was insane. I always appreciate that. And this was just another great play by Gill. Finding the hat trick. I was going to think Durtho was going to find the first hat trick because he had 2 goals, I think, before everyone else. So he was on the precipice for a long time.
But, I mean, that's a really solid team when you ask me, is when a team that's able to just trade off shots like that, where it's really not one singular person that has everything and all the goals and all the saves and all the touches, but when each individual player is able to shine and utilize their strengths and their abilities, that's when you have a really deadly team and a really unpredictable team as well, because every player shoots the ball differently, plays the ball differently. It's a lot harder to defend against one person. It's very easy to defend against one, but when you have 3 people taking a shot back to back and in a rapid succession like the Broncos typically can, it gets a lot harder to defend your net.
Second game on deck, and the kickoff already in favor of the Broncos. Woozy putting one up and to the side. Will push it back toward the other part of the field. Durtho around the corner, unable to center. Exodia contesting, now goes for the dribble. It's only going to make it past midfield mark. Woozy in the goal, not able to stop. Exodia was unstoppable.
Yeah, just serves that very end. Gets a really good touch there. Gill decides not to commit to that ball and finds really good timing there. Talking about timing to commit to the ball. Exodia's got that shot on lock. And in game number 2, Mizzou's going to lead it here in the first 19 seconds of the match. Off the kickoff, going to be looking to continue to capitalize off of that. Durtho gets bumped off the sidewall. Frostbite's going to continue with the carry there. Crimes going to get a touch. Woozy to control in the midfield here. Gets a good flick over 1. Not able to get it over Exodia. Frostbite now trying to time this out. Able to get a soft touch over 1. Connect to Durtho. Durtho gets 1. Now on the ground. Gets a good 50. Keeping this in Mizzou territory. As a shot attempt by Gill. Going to be a bit wide. Durtho now off the ceiling. Looking to keep this play going. It's missed touch by Frostbite. Saved out by Crims though.
Woozy unable to stop it at mid. Boise State looking for the equalizer. Durtho setting it up. Gill to redirect, but no. Exodia sees an open goal, and it's just a bit toward the right. Durtho will now have possession. Moving up, Grimes stopping it mid. Woozy back up and toward the far side of the goal. Durtho with a nice little touch. Doesn't find it.
Oh, what an absolutely beautiful save by Frostbite there. Getting the pixel-perfect save. Now on the counteroffensive here. Oh, and a very unfortunate 50 with Durtho right there. Going to find themselves in a very advantageous spot to take that, and going to find the bottom right corner of the net.
Yeah, that's not one to beat yourself up over. Sometimes just a weird freak angle like that shows itself. So 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Boise State 2 behind against Mizzou.
Off the kickoff there, Exodia taking control. Off the corner there, Gil's going to get a good 50. Woozy get the demo as well. Now Crim's going for a bit of a psycho there.
Oh.
On the rotation here, Dirth will take a shot. It's low. Exodia is going to be the one to take control. Frostbite looking to get a chance to clear this ball away. Gil to get one to put it back on the backboard there. And Dirth with the fast follow-up. Put one back on the board for the Broncos.
I think the Broncos also kind of recognize that this were in the seconds right before that match. You got two players from Mizzou kind of bunched up in the same corner and one hanging out in goal. So they took advantage of the positioning to secure themselves the first goal, but they still got a ways to go to tie it up. Especially if Exodia scores right there out of the blue.
There's not a whole lot of times a touch like that pays off for you, and that time it did. Just gets out far enough from Woozy to not be able to get the retouch. Lands perfectly into the arms of a teammate for the side of Mizzou. Now 3-1. Here the Broncos trailing. Woozy not able to get the touch in time. Frostbite is up and elevated. Gets a touch of the wheels. Leave it for Dirtho, but Dirtho has boost and is going to find Woozy on the other side. A redirect. Going to find it past Grims, and wow, just like that, they're going to be right back in striking distance.
Exodia tries to bounce up, but Woozy wins that crucial 50 to put one on the goal. Broncos now one behind yet again. Exodia has been the main playmaker for Mizzou, but might not be him alone that gets them to victory. Frostbite trying to put one on, flicks it, and it's off to the right. Boise State walks away from that one, and now it's an opportunity to clear with that demo.
Really good continuation by Gil there. Not going to go up again. Get a beautiful demo there. It goes car instead of ball. Dirtho looking to get a double. Not going to be able to find. There's Woozy with an open net. Absolutely beautiful succession of touches and plays there by BSU. That's exactly what you want to see from a well-coordinated team like this. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, tied game with half the game still have to play.
Can the Broncos actually go into the lead is the question. Ball off to the side. Dirtho fresh on boost. It's going to be Gil actually who takes it first, trying to set it up or just take it in. Demo on to Crimes. Dirtho's going to stop the ball from being clear. Respawn comes through for a Mizzou. Woozy moving in, setting it up for Gil. Shot just off to the right. Not going to find a goal.
Gil now trying to get a pass over Dirtho. Pretty close to the net, though. Crims looking for a double, looking dangerous. And there's an assisted touch there by Frostbite, but it's not strong enough to find the net. Exodia is going to be credited with the clear here as well. Woozy going to send it back to the defensive side from Mizzou. Frostbite now with an air dribble opportunity. Gets a 50 over Gil. Off the backboard, Crims has a shot opportunity. There's Dirtho back of the net. And he's going to find the save plus the counteroffensive shot. The Broncos are right back in the lead for game number 2.
And for the first time this game, it took quite a while for them to make it, but now they are in control of this match into the next kickoff.
Right at the kickoff here. Exodia going to take control of the ball. Looks to get a flake here. Going to be absolutely stuffed out by Gil. Dirtho is going to get a clearance in midfield there. There's the demo by Frostbite onto Gil. Exodia gets a touch into the back half. Crims not going to control on the sidewall. Woozy off the ceiling. Beautiful touch, but not going to be able to get the ball away from Crims here. Now Gil's going to get a touch that gets them away.
Frostbite moves in, goes for the flip reset, unable to carry it forward. Exodia up into the side. Crims waiting for a possible follow-up, doesn't quite get it. Woozy now pushing it over toward Dirtho. There's a lot of territory made, and it's stopped by Exodia right before the goal.
Exodia able to get one flick around. Woozy able to get a touch up. Crims is going to be there to contest. Frostbite now looking for a touch on the backboard there. There's Dirtho to get the touch, redirect it into the midfield. Exodia's going to take a shot, bounces a bit wide. There's Gil to clear it out with the assistance of Dirtho. Now Dirtho looking for a double, get a bit under. There's Gil to take a shot, blocked out by Frostbite, however.
Dirtho places one on, doesn't quite find it. It bounces off one of the posts. Woozy back on field. Not able to stop the shot on goal. Dirtho also demoed in the corner. Zoo with the possibility in the final 20 seconds to score one. Huge demo onto Frostbite, though. Gil just trying to body block it in front of the goal. Durtho comes in for the follow-up. He could score an insurance goal here. Does Gil go in for the follow-up? He gets demoed. Mizzou now looking for a goal. They need to score one right now and keep the ball up in the air. And that's possibly a setup there, but Gil wins that 50, getting the Broncos the victory in Game 2.
Really, really close game at the very end of it. And even though I would kind of count Mizzou's 2 of 3 goals as really just taking advantage of opportunities that sort of fell in their lap, that's really the big name of the game there. But nevertheless, they did pose a pretty big challenge to the Broncos there in the first half of the game of managing to put enough goals there to forcing BSU to really become a lot more reactive and had to put a lot more tougher shots on net and play a little bit more like a unit than I guess it was, where in Game 1 we were able to show off some more more mechanics, whereas I think in Game 2 we saw a little bit more of that polar opposite side of it we saw a lot more of this teamwork, this cohesive unit that we're really used to seeing.
Now the Broncos sit at match point with an opportunity to clear it all up, and it really was kind of the explosiveness of Frostbite and Exodia, especially. I think he's the most unpredictable player in terms of Mizzou, just because he recognizes opportunities so quickly and puts shots on before the Broncos can react.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was talking about, of taking advantage of situations that you find that fall in your lap. I mean, when you, for the missed touch by Woozy there, that's one of those things of you really don't predict, but it kind of just happens, and you need to be in the right position, and your teammates need to be in the right position to take advantage of that. And that's half the reason why they're able to stay in the game for that long and put 3 up on the net and kind of force that game to be such a high-stakes scenario that was so far from a different story of what we saw in Game 1. But nevertheless, the Broncos are now 2-0 in a best-of-5 series here with the ability to close out the series and take the lead in Division 1. We have a 3-piece passing play from BSU. Not going to find the shot opportunity from Durtho, but Gil's going to take control and get it past one, maybe find an open net. Nope, that's going to be Crims to get a block.
Nice little contest by Crims will give Mizzou a little bit of room to work with and contest in mid. Woozy plays a quick shot on the goal, blocked by Exodia. Durtho trying to set up a follow-up with Gil in tow. Gil is going to, the ball just drops right behind him, so they can't take the play forward. Demo on to Crims again. Gil coming in, trying to dunk it down with Durtho. Can he get it? He scores!
That's exactly what you love to see there. And there's that flashy mechanical ability in combination with team play and cohesiveness. That demo, pre-planned, absolutely nasty. Exodia not able to get the squishes there they're looking for. Bit of a fake, bit of a shot on net. Nevertheless, it works out for the side of the Broncos. 1-0. Entering that 1-minute territory.
Exodia gets demoed before he can even place a shot on the goal. Durtho spots an open goal. He's didn't take it all the way, but Exodia, I told you he was the most unexpected player on Mizzou. Unpredictable. He comes in right out of the corner, and they streak one in to tie it up.
The handoff play there was really sick here. And I actually really like to see this type of shot of where you just go up and you just meet your teammate in the middle. Kind of 1 meter pinch, honestly, from the goal line there. And Mizzou showing that they can stick with the best of them. Right off the kickoff, gonna get demoed. There's Frostbite going for a beautiful bump. Yeah, that's just the disruption play there is really well done by Mizzou.
Yeah, that was picture perfect. That's kind of textbook. And he sees Crims goes for the ball, immediately recognize he can get in Durtho's face. Durtho's the only one there. Yeah, it's still pretty impressive considering how much he was getting disrupted.
Yeah.
Durtho is going to get a bit of revenge onto Exodia. Say, no, you're not going to disrupt me for the rest of this game. But Crims almost taking toward the goal almost again. Look at this bunching by Boise State. They need to get more spread out on the field, and they're going to do that, be able to walk away. But can another goal be scored by Mizzou? We'll have to see as it goes back to mid.
That's just an absolute change of pace that this Mizzou team is taking right here. They're taking a lot more of this approach. And just as I was thinking about switching up the approach, BSG is going to go on the offensive here, getting a double demo. Looking to get a third, wasn't able to find it. Exodia now in the back half of things. Trying to get a couple more bumps here. Crims loses the 50 there. There's Frostbite on the backboard. Going to get one, looking for a second, is able to get it. Gil in the back half, though, able to control. Not able to get the 50 over Exodia, but going to lead it back to their half. And there's Crims with an open net shot opportunity after the Exodia demo onto Gil. But I don't even think the demo on Gil was necessary. There was simply nobody in the near net.
Yeah, it was just kind of more position at Boise State. Woozy and Gil both pushed up so far. Durtho not in a position where he can rotate back. We've seen a whole bunch of demos be brought out this game. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left with Mizzou leading by 2.
Beautiful control there by Durtho right there. Frostbite's going to take control. Gil looking to 50. Not going to be able to do too much, though. Frostbite going to get under Durtho. Shot opportunity by Crims. Going to be blocked out by Woozy, however. Gil taking control, looking to get a touch in the midfield, now connecting with Woozy, but Frostbite's there to get a touch in early. Durtho unable to get that read. Now Gil has to circle back, get one touch in the midfield. Woozy trying to play disruption here in the back half of Mizzou's territory. Durtho to get one onto the sidewall. Frostbite's going to get a boom clear. Gil going to recenter it, trying to connect to Woozy. Woozy able to get one, but gets slightly bumped off a play. Now Frostbite with control is going to flick it past Durtho.
Oh, a lot of ground gained up. Place the shot on goal. Gil saves it. Woozy on the counter, goes for fifth reset. Can't keep taking it. Durtho with a nice little chance at a pinch play there. Doesn't find it. Gil now just might go in. Durtho finds it for Boise State second.
Beautiful pass there by Gil right there. An amazing execution from Durtho to get up to this ball quick enough and at such a steep angle to put a quality shot on net. Broncos right back in striking distance here. Sub 2 minutes, down by 1 goal here. Still a bit of Mizzou's game as quite frankly, they've had a solid amount of control throughout all of this. Now Frostbite trying to put another one on the board for Mizzou. Unable to do so as Woozy gets not 1 but 2 defensive clears here. Exodia's going to send it right back in the midfield. Gil with control. Now looking for a ceiling flip reset. Is able to get a 50. Durtho was looking for the assist. Wasn't going to find it. Now Woozy puts a shot on net off the backboard. Wow. Added to the highlight reel. Tie it up for the Broncos.
Yeah, I think that was just a little bit too steep of an angle of attack for Exodia. He makes contact with it, but then Woozy just goes flying in for the follow-up. 1 minute, 31 seconds left, and Boise State has tied things up.
Right at the kickoff here, tensions are high here right now. Gil able to get past 1. Now Durtho going for a Doomsday dish off the ceiling, not able to find it. There's a little bit of entry there from the ball into the goal, but it just wasn't the right angle. Durtho trying to get a solo play going off the ceiling, wasn't able to do it. Now Gil gets a flick over 1. Now trying to find a pass from the ceiling, connect with Woozy with a pinch, not able to do it. However, though, all 3 of the Broncos are tied up so far into Mizzou's offensive half. This could be an opportunity for them to score, but it's not going to be so. The ball gets sent right back to their half.
Crims with a shot toward mid, blocked by Gil. Crims demos Gil right after he gets a touch onto it. Frostbite over, and it scores. Mizzou back in the lead.
Super tough to see there. Yeah, after this, this touch by Frostbite. Woozy just makes a wrong read. Gonna get a bit of an own goal there. Unfortunate, but stuff happens. Just got to move past it here. Still 43 seconds left in the game, and definitely an opportunity for more than enough time for the Broncos to put 1 on the board to tie it up again.
Frostbite with possession. Gil. Ooh, just enough disruption to stop that shot from going through. 30 seconds left. Durtho not able to push it past Frostbite. Gil with possession, sets it up. Woozy in mid. He's taken away from Frostbite. Whips, and it's an open goal. Durtho comes in at the last moment to save. Boise State with sub 15 seconds left to tie this up and possibly go to overtime. Exodia with the ball, good possession. Puts it there right in the corner, and I don't think Boise State can make it back all the way across the field. We'll have to see, but I think Frostbite's going to try to ground this. It goes back to Woozy. Pop off of his roof. Crims comes in, and it hits the ground. Boise State will give up their first game in the match.
Extremely fortunate way to go out there, but nevertheless, it's only 1 goal, or it's only 1 game. Realistically, what it is, and I mean, Mizzou's doing an excellent job of still staying in this game, and we saw them switch out the tempo there in the first half of it, which I really did like to see them do. I mean, they changed from a very traditional, just find the passing route, find the open lane, put a shot on net, and kind of hope it goes in, to taking destiny into their own hands. And they got a lot of demos. They got a lot of bumps. They played a lot of disruption game, and they were able to find the back of the net 2 times from opportunities like that created by themselves.
And I think we're definitely seeing enough talent from Mizzou here that, Boise State broadcast, there is something to say about, rooting for the home team. But I was thinking it would be such a pity with what we're seeing from Mizzou, the great plays that they're making, if the end score result was just a 3-0 sweep. So
Yeah.
I'm glad for them that they were able to get a goal here. They put in some hard work, switched it up, as you said, and have gotten rewarded for it. And they'll be able to say, no matter how things turn out here, that they managed to take a game away from the top CRL Western team.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a definite thing to pat yourself on the back for doing, and to really hang in with the best there. And you're sort of forcing Boise State to adapt and change by itself. And we saw that from Mizzou and the Broncos here so far in this first 3 games that we've seen so far, as we now head into game number 4. As Exodia looking for a solo play, not going to find it. Woozy gets the defensive clear, going to connect with Gill. Now going to have to maintain control again. Crims trying to put another shot opportunity on the net. Woozy now going to try and control it, though not a whole lot of boost. Not going to be able to do too much. Durtho gets a last-second clear off the backboard, gets 50. Crims has an opportunity, goes underneath Gill, but there's Woozy with the perfect timing rotation. Now going to attempt to take control. Gets demoed, though, by Frostbite.
Zodia moves up, isn't able to keep the dribble going. Frostbite with the follow-up, blocked by the Broncos. For the last 2 games, the Broncos have started at a goal deficit. They could put one on, but that's a nice save by Exodia. Follow-up by Durtho, blocked by Frostbite.
Ooh, Frostbite not able to find the touch there.
Woozy.
Woozy to get around one, but Crims is there in time. Durtho looking to get the demo there to set up Gill. Not going to be able to find it. Gill has to play some shadow defense. Going to be able to execute. Find the right timing for that. Exodia gets a back touch there. Durtho with the 50. Going to send it right back to the defensive half for Mizzou. Gill on the sidewall. Going to control this ball. One soft touch. Now going to go for an air dribble control. Gets up and over Frostbite. Winning that 50 a bit. There's Woozy to send it. Clearing back, but Crims was back just in time from that demo. And going to steal a boost there for the side of Woozy.
Frostbite plays it around Gill. Woozy coming in for some midfield contest. Pushes it to the other side of the field. Durtho moves in, trying to find the clear. Crims will just stop him right then and there. Mizzou gaining back some territory for themselves. Gill passes to Durtho in the corner. Woozy comes in. He's got to be the goalie now. Picks up his own 100 and ready to take this back across mid. Exodia still contesting, however. Gill moves up. Can he set it up for Woozy or Durtho? They don't quite like the look of it. Don't want to take the shot quite yet.
Ooh, good bump by Gill there onto Exodia. Now Woozy has a beautiful chance to put a double on the board. Opt for the pass to try and find Gill. More like great positioning, too. Try and get the recovery. Now on the counteroffensive here. Woozy's going to get a really good save here, but still in a dangerous position to play. Gill on the back rotation there. Going to be able to get a save, but Frostbite's going to send it right back on target. There's Woozy to be credited with the save as well. Crims now to take control. There's Durtho flying from the other side of the screen. Going to get a beat onto Exodia as well. Not able to get the double, however, though. Frostbite's going to slow it down for control. Opt to go around Gill. Now might be going for a flick play. Connect with Crims, who pre-jumped, but not going to find it, however. And now Durtho on a solo play path. Fakes. Oh my! Wow, the pogo stick shot.
Durtho is insane in midair. Some of the stuff that he can do just completely takes matters into his own hands, puts the Broncos up to a lead, 1-0 with 2:21 left in Game 4.
I mean, just who do you expect to take that shot? Such an intense scenario. 0-0, 2 minutes left on the clock. You're not expecting somebody to take a pogo shot right there. And now with Gill to Woozy off the backboard. Oh, wow! I don't know if that was intentional by Gill, but Gill going for the demo there put also him in the perfect spot to read that touch.
It's kind of a scenario where you're already making a good play, and just things work out to where it's an even greater play, and you look like double the genius that you already were.
Take credit for it. I meant to be there. That's all you got to say. Everyone will believe you. Durtho now trying to reverse to get the touch there. Caught
Exodia.
in no man's zone.
Who else would it be from Mizzou to make things competitive again? Crims leaves it for Exodia. Gill was still moving back towards the goal. Couldn't make the 180. And 2 minutes left in this fight. Boise State now back to just a 1-goal lead.
Now we're at that 2-minute mark here. Gill trying to connect Woozy. Woozy going to get a touch up. Dirt, though, was looking to be there for it. Opted not to go there for whatever reason it may have been. Frostbite not trying to get it past one. Is able to do it. Is able to get it past Dirt, though, as well, but not Woozy on the rotation there. Exodia looking for a play. Not going to be able to get it through. Dirt, though, is going to get a touch around Crims. Frostbite, 2 on the rebound. Now trying to get a touch back down and into the midfield. Woozy to Dirt, though. Dirt, though, not able to get up in time, however, and now passing it back to Gill.
Zodia pushes it off to the corner. About 1:20 left. Boise State still leading. Woozy puts one on the goal. Crims will be right there to find the save. Crims continues to move up. And the shot is blocked right in front of Mizzou's goal. Frostbite looking to pass to Exodia. Shot on goal, saved by Woozy.
Really good shot pass right there, but playing back post came an absolute clutch for Durtho and Woozy right there. Exodia now looking dangerous, looking for a touch off the backboard. Puts it a bit on target. Gill's going to be credited with the 3rd save of the game. Durtho now trying to get around one, going to get a flick to the side here. Looking to continue with it, cuts inside. Now looking to get over Exodia. Has to settle for a 50. Exodia also credited with the 3rd save of their game. Gill coming in fast, gets one touch on the backboard. Durtho's elevated, gets a touch up. Gill trying to play disrupt. Not able to get there in time. Woozy has to send it right back over to the side wall. Collects 100. Durtho's going to go for the back pass here. Has to execute this touch. Not able to do it, but Gill's there for the clear as we're just getting to about under 20 seconds right now.
Heard a little bit of a groan of frustration there as that last play transpired. Off to the side, Crims trying to keep it competitive in mid. Durtho, nice pass over to Gill. They'll juggle it between each other. Back to Woozy, puts one on. All 3 go for it on the side of Mizzou. Boise State possibly gonna get scored on. They just need to ground the ball right now before a buzzer beater finds it. Can they actually do it? Crims comes in, shot on goal, wide to the right. Frostbite trying to keep the play going. Can Boise State ground it? Off the crossbar again. Are you kidding me with how much Mizzou is keeping the play going? And they're still got it in the air. Crims out on boost, but doing all he can to keep it up in the air. Boise State needs to ground it to find the win. Are you kidding me with how far this is going? Durtho takes it back toward the goal, grounded already.
There it
My
is.
voice skips out. Nope, there it is. There it is. Oh my goodness.
That was maybe a solid 15 to 20 seconds of continuous keep up.
I think it was just a dare at the very end there to see my voice give out. I think it was a running match that they decided to have at the very end there.
You never really know, but nevertheless they kind of clutched it out at the very end of it, keeping the ball up that long. They definitely gave gave us a bit of heart attack. They took 2 shots on net there that probably maybe could have found their way in the back of it if not been the Broncos defense. But nevertheless, the Broncos pull out ahead, and not in spectacular fashion as I was expecting. I was expecting a 3-0 and quite honestly the games to just be blowouts. But Mizzou proved me a bit wrong there and proved to be a bit of a tough opponent at times.
Now, do you have someone that you want to nominate who in your personal view would be player of the game?
You know, I'm actually going to go with Woozy there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Woozy. I think Woozy had a very solid impact throughout the series.
I know it sounds cliche, but I think I got to give it to Durtho with that pogo shot. I mean, being the one to go up 2-1 to push the Broncos in the lead, and that was the start of the drive in the final game to get them to the victory. So, but honestly, like we've been saying all game, all of Boise State's players make such great plays, and it's saying that you could easily nominate any 3 of them.
Yeah, also just slight plug, Gill, also kind of a GOAT, absolutely a GOAT.
He's the anchor. If there's anyone who's an anchor and dependable for Boise State, I think it's Gill. Plus, the anchor-Gill thing, it kind of goes with the nautical theme, so that works out too. Anyway, that'll do it for this game tonight, but we will leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. They've got several jobs, many of which have a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. You can live here, work here, and serve here. You can seek them out on Instagram at iGuard Idaho. But that'll do it for us tonight. Thank you for watching. Congrats to the Broncos for the win, and enjoy your top 5 plays. Mizzou, who will take home the first win in this best of 5. Will Boise State sweep this with a complete 3-0? We're ready.
Left here on the kickoff.
Durtho moves off to the side to contest with Frostbite. Now they have an open goal. Durtho sees it, puts it in, and we're up to 4-0.
Just elevated, gets a touch of the wheels, leaving for Durtho, but Durtho has boost and is going to find Woozy on the other side. A redirect, going to find it past Grins, and wow, just like that, they're going to be right back in striking distance.
Exodia tries to bounce up, but Woozy wins that crucial 50 to put one on the goal. Bronk take the play forward. Demo onto Crims again. Gil coming in, trying to dunk it down with Durtho. Can he get it? He scores!
That's exactly what you love to see there. And there's that flashy mechanical ability in combination with team play and cohesiveness. That Demo, pre-planned, absolutely nasty. Exodia not able to get a 50. Durtho was looking for the assist, wasn't going to find it. Now Woozy puts a shot on net off the backboard. Wow! Add it to the highlight reel. Tie it up for the Broncos.
I think that was just a little bit too steep of an angle of attack for Exodia. He makes contact with it, but then Woozy just goes flying in for the
pre-jumped, but not going to find it, however. And now Durtho on a solo play path, fakes. Oh my! Wow, the pogo stick shot.
Durtho is insane in midair. Some of the stuff that he can do just completely takes matters into his own hands.